Headed to our Lewis Automotive Hotline here on halftime, live at Blue Ember Smokehouse in Little Rock on Rawling Road. Time to talk with Alyssa Orange, the host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, but also our resident Dodgers fan. You know who your opponent's going to be now, Alyssa. Should be a great series. And I'm reminded that wasn't the other team that Shohei Ohtani nearly signed with was the Toronto Blue Jays?
I think you're right. So this one should be a fun one. I was watching that game last night. I'm not going to lie. I was really hoping that the Mariners would pull it out. My sister lives in Seattle. I thought that'd be really fun. Obviously a big Cal Raleigh fan. Go Noles. But, yeah, George Springer in the postseason, he always finds a way. And so here we go, L.A., Toronto. It'll be fun. And we all know as an L.A. fan, no one's going to just jump on the Dodgers bandwagon. If you're picking a side and you don't have a team in the fight, you're not cheering for LA. So this one's going to be fun. I
love how Dave Roberts put it. They want to go ruin baseball.
Yeah, I love that clip, man. When he said, "Hey, the offseason, everyone was saying the Dodgers were ruining baseball. Well, let's go win 4 more and really ruin baseball." I sent that to my dad, and he got a kick out of it.
Well, if you're going to be a villain, you might as well sit and stew in it.
That's what they said about the '92 Dream Team. David Stern's like, "Oh, y'all going to ruin basketball?" And it's like, "Oh, okay, get out of here."
Okay.
People do like watching greatness.
My dad took batting practice at Nat Farm. Yes, it would crack me up.
Well, that's also in total contrast to the other teams that you're a fan of. Things don't seem.
I know. At least I have that. Oof.
Things couldn't be any worse at Florida State right now. Did you watch Norvell's press conference or at least some of it after the Stanford game, or do you even, as an alum, can you even give yourself that moment? Because I've never seen the look in somebody's eyes that dazed. Really, I've never seen a coach look that dazed in front of the cameras.
Yeah, it was bad. I did not watch it. I chose to just emotionally save myself from that and go to sleep. But I did watch that game in its entirety until 1 a.m. And it's frustrating when you know that they're talented and this team felt like they had finally gotten those pieces back together after that 2-10 season last year. And now here it is, just feeling like same thing, different season. And then you go to the Dolphins. It's like the definition of insanity. You keep doing the same thing, hoping for a different result. And it's just a really tough time to be a football fan for me as a Dolphins fan, a Seminoles fan, and then obviously covering Arkansas.
All right, let's get to a little high school football here. What game this weekend, Friday night, would be top of mind for you?
Yeah, so I'm going to be at Bentonville Rogers, and I'm really excited for this one because you've got 2 really high-powered offenses, 2 very talented quarterbacks for Bentonville, Cole Slepecki. You've got Jeff Regan for Rogers, who I don't think anyone can slow down and stop. He is just so dynamic. Both of those teams with such weapons offensively, both have good defenses. Both have been scoring. I think Rogers back-to-back in these last 2 weeks has scored 70 points. And it's going to be a fun one at Rogers between these 2 teams. And I think this is the game that decides the 7A West. And then you look down in the River Valley, and actually, guys, Van Buren and Greenwood was the big game on Friday night. Both of those teams undefeated in conference play. Greenwood undefeated on the season. But Van Buren's 4-0 for the first time in conference play since 1996. And they're playing good football. And Greenwood right now is a team that always has a target on their back and are going to have to see if they can hold the pointers off. But that game got moved to Thursday. So that's Thursday at 7, which means I'll get to see both of these games. And so I'm really excited to watch both of those games on Thursday and then on Friday.
I was a 7th grader, Alyssa, in '96. That's Kenny Sandlin, who played up there for the Hogs. He was the leader on that team, and that's the last Van Buren Pointer team to win the state championship. They won the state title that year. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy how long that's been? And sometimes you say that and you're like, oh, and then you're like, oh wait, it's 2025. It has been that long. So Mo Henry's got it rolling there at Van Buren this season.
Is there going to be a game Rogers doesn't score 70? I guess maybe this one, but
maybe this one. Maybe this one. And that's where Bentonville's defense has to be on point, I think. But they're playing really well, just all around. They've got so many weapons offensively. And that includes Daquan Prevost and Blair Irwin III, who are headed to Arkansas. And they've got a running back in Chris Ficklin, who's really good. But Rogers has Braxton Lindsey and a lot of really good Titus Kramer as their running back, who transferred from Harbor. So if there's a place to be on Friday night and you're not going to a specific game, I think you go to Rogers.
Did you see any of DJ's interview with Kane Archer from his Fourth and 3 podcast?
I saw a little bit of it that he posted, and Kane's a special player. He's a special player. He's smart, but he's a good kid with a good head on his shoulders. And even talking to Chris Young today, their head coach down there at Greenwood, it's just, we knew how special he was going to be, and so we pulled him up as a ninth grader, knowing that year of just being the backup QB and learning the system was going to be really beneficial for his growth and where he goes. And we've seen that now. And he's a smart kid. He's a really, really good football player. And the one thing Kane really has is between the ears. He's just a really but I thought it was interesting what he said to DJ and talking about, if you're from Arkansas, you want to play for Arkansas. But I know what the relationships with Mackenzie Milton and those guys at UCF mean to him. He told me. He read me a letter that Mackenzie Milton had actually mailed him the day that him and I talked before the season started. That relationship that he has down there is 95% of the reason why he decided to go to UCF and commit to UCF.
Well, let's see. I also saw, looking at the Varsity Vibe newsletter, which I signed up for a few weeks ago, and it comes right into your inbox early in the morning. 25-game losing streak came to an end for Rogers Heritage.
Yes.
We were talked about all the great teams.
Heritage?
But that's great to see, tasting a victory for first time in 3 years?
Yeah, that was really great for Coach Munoz and his team. And I'm actually going to talk to him later today. They're our team of the week because of that win, that 41-40 win over Northside, and how they won it, stopping a 2-point conversion in overtime. And that's just a program that has just been desperate for wins to see success. And we talk about a basketball analogy. Sometimes you just need to see the ball go through the hoop. And they've got a lot of work to do to continue to get to where they want to be as a program. But you just want to feel what winning feels like. And that's just sometimes one of those intangible things that your players need to feel and to experience and understand. And it had been a really long time, 25 straight games, 22 straight conference games. It's been a while since they've won over there at Heritage. And so a big shout out to them for getting that done against Northside.
We had somebody text in asking about Regan's, who's the quarterback at Rogers, Jeff Regan.
Yes,
388 yards, 4 touchdowns before halftime, and putting up 70 again. Tell us about him.
He's like a video game. So I got to see him in person a few weeks ago when they played Bentonville West, and it's insane. And he's very unassuming. I think he might be a few inches taller than me. I'm 5'5", so he might be like 5'8", 5'9", maybe. He's not tall and he's not big, but he's twitchy and he's elusive. And once you just can't get it going. And I talked to Coach Harbison, and he was like, "This is a kid who's 175 that benches 500. He's strong." And sometimes people don't understand how strong he is, and they try to get him down, and he just steps right out of the tackle. He is special, and he's got the arm, but he's got the legs, and he's just got the intuition. And, that's a guy who they turned into a quarterback last year, and he Coach said he kind of pushed against it a little bit until they finally were like, "No, we need you to be the quarterback." And he's just seen nothing but success. And he's headed to Air Force next year. But, I asked him after that game against West, what is it about you? Why do you play the way you play? And he goes, "I just have that mentality that, no one can stop me and no one can take me down." And he plays like that. He's a really fun player to watch.
Volleyball state finals coming up soon. Hot Springs, I know you'll get involved in that pretty closely.
Yeah, so last week of the regular season, and Bentonville-Fayetteville actually tonight at Fayetteville, and I'll take the kids to that. I'm excited to see. It's a big one between those two teams, two of the best in the state, and Bentonville right now undefeated in conference play. The only loss Fayetteville have is to Bentonville from a few weeks ago. So that'll be fun. But the conference will start, the tournament will start, and then all of the state games are in Hot Springs, and I'll be a part of that crew doing the color and the play-by-play. But high school volleyball is really fun, especially here in Northwest Arkansas. A lot of talent. Farmington's a good team. Shiloh Christian, also a really good team. Bentonville West. You might see some Northwest Arkansas teams representing their conferences in Hot Springs on November 1st.
The volleyball is the first to start, right? So that means they'd have the first set of state championships. This is the first sport to actually have a championship for the school year?
No, so there's been some tennis and golf.
Okay.
So there's been some tennis championships and golf championships. So the state finals for the 6A, for example, in tennis was last week. I believe Pulaski Academy and North Little Rock won those for the girls and the boys. And golf was a few weeks ago, too. So tennis, the first true team sport. Or, I'm sorry, volleyball, the first true team sport to hand out a state title.
I don't think I've ever felt as lost as I have. The one volleyball match that I called for Arkansas, I forget who it was against. Might have been UALR 3 years ago. I had to really brush up on that pretty quickly, Alyssa. Something tells me you know volleyball better than I do.
Well, I played it in high school. It wasn't my sport. You know me. I was a softball player. But volleyball was like that sport in the off-season that I played just to do something. But my best friend in high school, she was really good. She was the setter and was on varsity all 4 years that she was in high school. But I am familiar since I played. But it's fast-paced, and you can't get behind, that's for sure.
Little did I realize that a thwack is not a real phrase in volleyball, but, I got away with it for a day.
It's not. Yeah, just make up words. It's fine.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.